Hello from the lookout. We're here. You know, if I said that a little bit louder, you could almost hear it echo in the hills. Or I could sing a song. I'm not going to do it. The hills are alive. Oh, I didn't sing the song. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, Teresa told me on yesterday's video, she said, Bill, it looks like you're standing in front of a green screen. I am standing in front of a green screen. It's my back porch and there's the green out there. So I included the solar there. Wait, I can't point to my solar. It's over there. There it is. See it? I pointed so you'd know it wasn't just a green screen that I made up. Ha! Okay. All right, we're on day 234. Thanks for my silliness. For putting up with my silliness. Teresa has to do it every day. Maybe you should just think about her. Okay, day 234, walking through the Bible, the 1 Year Bible Project, day by day, taking one day, one step at a time as we walk through God's Word. Some days are encouraging and enlightening, and other days are a little bit more of a struggle. But God walks through all the days of our lives with us, whether they are mountaintop days or valley days. God is faithful. Okay? All right? Here we go. Luke 15, 1-7. Tax collectors and other notorious sinners. Get that. I mean, if tax collectors aren't bad enough, notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus preach. This made the Pharisees and the teachers of religious law complain that he was associating with such sinful people, even eating with them. Oh. So Jesus told them the story. If a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Well, of course, you'll just leave it. No, that's not what Jesus said. That's not what Jesus said. Okay. Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go to search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. And when he arrives, he will call together his friends and his neighbors, saying, Rejoice with me, because I have found my lost sheep. In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. So I think what Jesus is saying, he's not saying that the other 99 are not important. Of course they're important. He loves each and every one. But there is this rejoicing that happens when the lost are found, right? And so he says when he came, he was hanging out with tax collectors and notorious sinners. Why? Because he was looking for lost people who needed to experience the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. They needed to experience life, relationship with God. And the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, they just missed it. Just flat missed it because of their rules. Okay, let's be on the lookout for lost ones, and let's be on the lookout for each other. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, Job 4-7. Okay. Now we come to the point. Remember yesterday, Job had finally come to the point of saying, I'm miserable and I hate this. Basically, that's what he was saying. I am just absolutely miserable. Okay. And we come to this conversation between Job's friends, and I put that in quotes, friends and Job. I think in many ways we can relate to this, all right? Let's listen in and see what we'll learn. Okay, so here, a friend is speaking. I'm not going to say their names because they would just get lost in the names. So friend says, chapter 4, verses 6-9, doesn't your reverence for God give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? Stop and think. Do the innocent die? When have the upright been destroyed? My experience shows that those who plant trouble and cultivate evil will harvest the same. A breath from God destroys them. They vanish in a blast of his anger. And then verse 17, can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone be pure before the Creator? I can see him shaking his head. 17. Oh, I already did that. All right. All right. Then 27. Oh, wait. I want to get 7. Chapter 5, verse 7. People are born for trouble as readily as sparks fly up from a fire. And verse 27. But consider the joys of those corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin, for though he wounds, he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. Oh, well, that was 17. That was okay. Here we go. Now 27. We have studied life and found all this to be true. Listen to my counsel and apply it to yourself. There you go. I said it. You should be fixed. You should. Have you ever done that or had somebody do that to you? There you go. I told you what you needed to hear. Aren't you better yet? You know, if you just listen and do what I say, you'd be better. Are you better yet? Are you better yet? Are you listening? Job says, all right. Well, so here it is. A worldview that says when trouble or calamity strike, God is sovereign. It must be your fault. We hear nuggets of truth through this friend's talk and a lot of words telling Job that he is obviously at fault. Okay, now here's Job's response. Chapter 6, 1-5. Then Job spoke again, if my misery could be weighed and my troubles put on the scales, they would outweigh all the sands of the sea. That is why I spoke impulsively, for the Almighty has struck me down with his arrows. Their poison infects my spirit. God's terrors are lined up against me. Don't I have a right to complain? Then verses 8 and 9. Oh, that I might have my request, that God would grant my desire. I wish he would crush me. I wish he would reach out his hand and kill me. 24-26. Teach me and I will keep quiet. Show me what I have done wrong. Honest words can be painful, but what do your criticisms amount to? Do you think your words are convincing when you disregard my cry of desperation? In 29 and 30, stop assuming my guilt, for I have done no wrong. Do you think I'm lying? Don't I know the difference between right and wrong? And then chapter 7, verses 20 and 21. If I have sinned, what have I done to you? O watcher of all humanity, why make me your target? Am I a burden to you? Why not just forgive my sin and take away my guilt? For soon I will lie down in the dust and die. When you look for me, I will be gone. Whew. Job is hurting. He's hurting physically. He's hurting emotionally. Do we remember he lost 10 children in a day? He lost all of his possessions in a day. He is now covered in boils and miserable. And these friends are adding to his misery by assuming that it's his fault, that he is guilty of sin. They make their assumptions based on their understanding of God. We have a saying at my house, especially when my kids were younger: the louder you speak, the more right you are. You know, because as they would talk, they get louder and louder and louder, and so, okay, you must be really right because you're getting really loud. Isn't that the way we are? Job and his friends will get louder and louder throughout this book as they defend their views. And sadly, Job's pain is discounted in the process. One more thought. Job asks God to define the problem, to point out the sin. we are always appropriate to say to God, okay, I think I'm being punished here. Please, Lord, show me my sin so that I can repent, so that I can correct, so I can make restitution. Show me what it is, right? We're always okay to go to God and say, God, show me what I've done so I can make it right. Okay? All right, now, 1 Corinthians 14. Today, Paul continues to talk about speaking in tongues and the importance of orderly worship. Chapter 14, verse 18 to 20. I, Paul, thank God that I speak in tongues more than any of you. But in a church meeting, I would rather speak 5 understandable words to help others than 10,000 words in an unknown language. Dear brothers and sisters, don't be childish in your understanding of these things. Be innocent as babies when it comes to evil, but be mature in understanding matters of this kind. Think about what Paul is saying here. 5 understandable words. Understandable by who? Well, those who are listening. Paul will go on to make the case that speaking in unknown tongues is good, fine. But it is understanding that makes the difference. Okay, now, I want to be careful here, all right, truly, as I address this issue of speaking in tongues, because I know that there are many who this is a very important part of their expression of faith. Okay, and so I'm not speaking against you. Okay, if this is how God is working with you and what you understand, I'm not against you. We all love Jesus. Okay, sometimes we just see things differently. All right. Now, listen again to the last part of verse 20. Be innocent as babies when it comes to evil, but be mature in understanding matters of this kind. Innocent concerning evil, mature in understanding these matters. There is a temptation that happens, especially for those who are teaching and wanting to be relevant. As a youth pastor, I wanted to be relevant. And so there were times when I found myself, well, I need to study and experience the things that my teens are experiencing. And so I would explore, and then it was like, wait. I don't need to go down that road. I don't need to explore evil to know that it's bad. Okay? So be innocent as babies when it comes to evil, but mature in understanding. All right? So, okay, I encourage you. This is an area of caution because the enemy just entices us in and says, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're doing. And a little more, and a little more, and a little more. Okay, all right, keep it going. Paul, okay, then 14:26. Well, my brothers and sisters, let's summarize. When you meet together, one will sing, another will teach, another will tell some special revelation God has given. One will speak in tongues, and another will interpret what is said. But everything that is done must strengthen all of you. Okay, must strengthen all of you. Paul is addressing orderly worship. This would indicate perhaps their worship, if you will, had gotten out of hand. Everyone vying for the opportunity to be heard. I think we've all experienced the person or persons who take over any discussion. They have something to say, a lot of something to say about everything. And have you noticed others in the room glaze over in these times? Here we go again. Paul says, but everything that is done must strengthen all of you. And here we are. It is love that wins the day. Love gives way to others. Love speaks up. Love listens. Love rejoices. Love weeps. Love feels the pain of others. And when we love, we are most like God. Isn't that cool? All right. So Proverb 21:27, the sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it is offered with wrong motives. And then Psalm 37, 30, 31, and then 34. The godly offer good counsel. They teach right from wrong. They have made God's law their own, so they will never slip from his path. And then 34, put your hope in the Lord, travel steadily along his path. My prayer for you today, put your hope in the Lord. Put your hope in the Lord and travel steadily along his path. God bless you.